Welcome back, Wheelers and Dealers. This is Skid Vis, and you're listening to the CoveredWheel Weekly Wrap-up. Before we dive in, remember, this is not to be considered financial advice. We're just here to talk shop and have some fun with options. All right, let's break down what's been happening on CoveredWheel.com this past week. It looks like our community has been pretty busy, with some interesting trends emerging. First up, let's talk about our top 5 tickers. Coming in at number 1, we've got LUNR, with traders showing a strong preference for puts. Next up is NVDA, where we're seeing a nice balance between puts and calls. AMD takes the third spot, again with a focus on puts. Tesla, always a popular one, comes in fourth. Once more, puts are the name of the game here. Rounding out our top 5 is SOFI, and you guessed it, puts are dominating. In fact, across the board, we're seeing a pretty heavy lean towards puts. They accounted for a whopping 73% of trades, with calls making up the other 27%. Now, that's what I call a bearish sentiment. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the S&P 500, represented by SPY, being down 0.56% for the week, it seems our covered wheel traders are taking a cautiously bullish stance. This is particularly evident with tickers like LUNR, AMD, and SOFI. NVDA, on the other hand, is showing a more balanced approach with equal put and call activity. We also saw some notable action on MARA and QQQ, so keep an eye on those in the coming week. Now, what does all this mean? Well, it could suggest that while traders are protecting their downside with puts, they're also positioning themselves for potential upside, especially in certain stocks. But remember, folks, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research and make decisions based on your personal financial situation and risk tolerance. That's all for this week's wrap-up. This has been Skid Vis, reminding you to keep those wheels covered and those options open. Until next time, happy trading.